All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. And just press play. Move this out the way real quick. Let me know in the chat, drop a 1 if you can hear it.
She wrote a book called In Order to Live. She escaped North Korea at 13 years old, found her way to China, eventually South Korea, eventually Dublin, US, all over the place. And she's now resides in US. She gave a talk back in 2014 at the One Young World in Dublin, which within 2 days, her 8-minute talk got 50 million views. Let me say this one more time. 50 million views in 2 days. And from there, she's been a phenomenon because she's given us, the world, a glimpse of what it really is like to live in North Korea, not from what MSNBC tells us, not from what CNN tells us, not from what Fox tells us, her point of view of what it was like living there for 13 years. And so with that being said, Yanomi Park, thank you so much for being a guest on the Entertainment.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor to be on your show.
It's great to have you. So Yanomi, let's go back. For those of us who have never visited North Korea, all we've seen is the videos. All we've seen is, we've read about it, we've seen articles about it, we've seen different things about it. What was it like for you growing up in North Korea?
Yeah, so I think that was almost like the biggest challenge for me to talk about my experience in North Korea is that sometimes I felt like it's even easier to explain about Mars or the moon to Americans than North Korea. Like North Korea is a country that has so many pieces, right? The life that Kim Jong-un, the dictator, has is absolutely different from the people's lives that I had and my friends had. So I think today I am only going to talk about the people who are not in that privileged, 1% class, but the majority of North Koreans, how they are actually surviving every day. I think it's just almost like unimaginable. Everyday life is a struggle. In North Korea, when I was growing up, there were even no words for depression. So, or even stress. So as I growing up as a child, when I came to South Korea, they told me like stress is like very big, cause for something. Depression is the like big main cause for suicide. And I was like, what is that? And you don't know what stress is? Like what, you don't know what depression is? And in North Korea, the regime didn't put that words in the dictionary for us. So, imagine that in socialist paradise, how can you possibly stressed? How can you be possibly depressed? But in our real life is a struggle, but we just don't know how to put those like concepts into words. I think, when I was a child, very first thing that my mom told me was not to even whisper because the birds and mice could hear me. And as a young girl, the first thing I learned is that the most dangerous thing in my body that I got is my tongue. What if I slip some wrong words? That is not gonna only kill me, that is not gonna only kill my family, it is going to kill 3 generations of my family. If somebody say one wrong thing, political statement, it's not gonna just kill that person, it kills entire 3 generations of that family. And that is like, so in that sense, I never knew what, freedom of speech was. I somehow thought that's how a normal world was because there was no internet. Obviously, I never heard the word internet in North Korea. There is only one channel on TV, 24 hours, that is telling us how wonderful the socialist paradise is and how bad our American bastards enemies are. And, I remember when I came to America going to Walmarts and going to see this like section of magazines, right? They have living like magazine, fashion magazine, cook magazine. I never seen any kind of magazine in North Korea. Like I never seen a cookbook. There's like I never heard of what modeling was. Like there's no fashion magazine. The regime, the government telling us what to wear, what kind of haircut you can have, what kind of makeup you can have, what kind of pants you can wear, what kind of song you can sing, what kind of movie you can watch, what kind of dance you can dance. Every little thing is determined by the regime, even before I was born. And even where I live, who I can marry, what can I do in life is determined by my political class in the country. So telling Americans that, or the people who free people, like they think, you know, like you choose what major you study, what clothes you wear, everything for them is so natural. But coming from North Korea, even picking up a pants was a struggle for me. Like how I choose among like 10 different pants they are selling, how do I choose like what I like? Because in North Korea, nobody asked me like what do I think.
That's wild when you think about it, by the way, to have that kind of an experience. And did you experience any, I know you said the most powerful weapon you have is your tongue, because if you say something, it could hurt 3 generations, not just yourself, your parents, your grandparents, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, there has to be an element of somebody being rebellious. And if there was somebody that was rebellious, if you do remember, what typically happened to somebody that was rebellious against a regime like that?
So like in school, right? At school, I did go to school. I didn't learn about the revolution or democracy or none of that. The things that I learned is like how brave, like what kind of miracles our dear leader can do, and how bad the West, the democracy, the world was. And you know, everything was brainwashing in school. Like even like learning math was like, there are 4 American bastards. You killed 2 of them. Then how many American bastards left to care? As like 5, 6 years old, you say 2 American bastards. And the game that you play, we don't play with the Barbie dolls. We don't play some Legos. We play with tanks. You either use mud and build tanks and say, the teacher is like, why did you build this tank? I was like, I built this tank because I want to kill our enemies and be loyal to our dear leader. And like we build this snowman in school, and we bring like hot boiling water and pour on top of the snowman, and that snowman we make like American monster. And we say, hey, American enemies are gone. So that's the education. So there was really no concept of being distant or being a rebellious. But I'm sure there was. That's why you constantly see these public executions and see this political prison camp. People in our neighborhoods disappear all the time. And we always have to go to see public, you know, trial and public execution. In North Korea, there's no such a thing called like concept of minor. Even you are like 5, 7 years old, if the school teachers say you have to go see public execution when someone gets shot in front of your eyes, even kids have to go see the public execution. And so in that situation, I think in some other ways we were rebellious, like watching foreign DVDs, and that kills us. But people still risking their lives. Imagine like right now we are risking our life or watching or some kind of movie. And in North Korea, people actually literally risking their lives to watch a movie from the free world.
What were some of the, by the way, my imagination, I just went there. So for me, it's tough to kind of come back, but what were the topics and the subjects you had in school? So did you have world history? Did you have, what were the topics, what were the subjects you guys took in school?
So again, like.
Let's stop it right there. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? What single word comes to mind when you hear that? She said people risk their life to watch a movie. She said everything was chosen for her. What to wear, what kind of hair, what dance she can do, what she can see, who she can marry. Everything is chosen for her. So when she escaped and got to a free world where there's an abundance of choices, choosing a pair of jeans was hard for her. Imagine being born into a system where nobody even asked you what you think. She said she was taught from a young girl, the most dangerous thing on her body is her tongue. Because one wrong word, one wrong thing she said can not only kill herself as a child, but her parents, her grandparents, and her great grandparents, cousins, nieces, 3 generations of people got murdered. She said she grew up in an environment where neighbors would go disappearing all the time. Neighbors would just disappear. Kids left school to go watch public executions. There's no concept of minor. You don't get a pass because you're 5 years old. No, you say something wrong, you're dead, and your whole family's dead. She got to the free world and learned about this word depression and stress, and she's like, what's that? They have no concept of depression or stress because every single day was depression. Every single day. And further on in the interview, she talks about the only reason she escaped was not because she thought that she was in bondage. She had no concept of how the outside world was. All she knew is all she knew. She only escaped because she was starving. She was hungry. And she was trying to get somewhere to get something to eat. It's the only reason. We got so much opportunity, we don't even realize it. We make an abundance of choices every single day. The fact that you can choose if you want to do something or not is a blessing. They don't even get that choice. So when we talk about the word opportunity, we think money. How about just the opportunity to think and speak freely? The opportunity to choose to elevate your life. How about the opportunity to decide whatever you want to do with your life? Just the freedom to choose. So you got this opportunity to push a button from your phone and make money. You have this opportunity to help elevate the lives of people around you. Every single time, every day, you decide not to do what you know you should do, I want you to think about her. I want you to think about the simple fact that you have a choice. I can't understand, I don't understand, and I don't care to try to understand how somebody can have the opportunity to elevate their life for their own reasons and then they quit on that opportunity. I was just going through my notes of so many people that their first day joining, I wrote down their 5 reasons why. And as I was flipping and reading these people's 5 reasons why, they're no longer here. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't be successful with whatever they choose to do. But I can't think of what's easier than pushing a button from a phone. Pay off mom's debt. Mother in debt, $500,000. She quit. 3 out of 5 of her reasons why was for her mom. Retire my mom. Pay off my mom's debt. Buy another house for my mom. She quit. Did she quit on the business or did she quit on her mom? You got to take your 5 reasons why extremely serious. Don't just write on a piece of paper. That's why we want you to take intimate time to write down exactly what you want so you understand if you don't go after it, you're not quitting on the business. You're quitting on what you wrote. Right? Let's see. Let me find another one. It's crazy. Purchase mom and dad a new car. Buy a brother a car. Give his mom and dad monthly vacations because they worked so hard to raise him and his brothers and sisters. Spend more time with his daughter. He said he joined because he knows if he doesn't do it, nobody in his family is going to set them free. He quit. He quit. Right? This other lady says she wants to start a business. Right? She wants to open her daughter a savings account. Because nobody ever did that for her when she was a child. Her daughter, at the time she joined, her daughter was 2 years old. She said she wanted to save $250 a month for the next 16 years. She quit. Why am I going through this? Because just like Javon said on the 8 o'clock opportunity call last night, it was so profound. Just because you get involved, that don't mean nothing. You still got to push the button on your phone. You still got to show up to trainings. You still got to do the work. You still, even all this information available to you, right? All the success around you, you got to get involved. You got to get in the game and stay in the game. Or your mind will talk you out of something that was meant to be the thing that set you free. Opportunity. Do you value it? Because this concept of consistency is so simple to me. I know if I don't be consistent with what I need to do, the only other option is going back to work. And those of you who are working right now and you're trying to free yourself of that job, it's real simple. If you don't work harder on the thing that can set you free than you do on your job, the job will continue to dominate your time. It's real simple. Consistency is a very simple concept to me. If you don't do it, nothing changes. And if you really don't like the way life is going right now, why does somebody have to convince you to care enough to keep doing what can set you free? Especially when you got example after example after example of people around you who have walked the path that you're walking and made it to the other side. It's not a question of if you can actually walk away from your job and live making your own money from your phone, growing a residual income. It's not a question of if you can do it, because you can do it. The question is, will you do it long enough to see it work? Right, Javon, if you want to, and when you start being consistent, when will you do what you need to do to change your life? I saw that video a few weeks ago. I couldn't wait to get in front of y'all to show y'all a snippet so you can really conceptualize the word opportunity. People in North Korea risked their life to watch a movie. A movie. She said in the wintertime, they have to wait until a somewhat warm day to go to a river and take a bath. Otherwise, they couldn't wash. And they didn't wash in a house with running water. They went to a creek, a river, to wash their body. And if it was cold, they just didn't wash. Her dream was eating enough food to feel full and satisfied. As a child, her and her brothers and sisters and her friends would talk about how much rice they could eat because they were constantly hungry. Opportunity. You have the opportunity of a lifetime. You're so free, you don't even realize it. Take advantage of the freedom that you have. Use it. Change your life. Because if you're in this environment and you have the opportunity to set yourself free, you have the opportunity to elevate yourself, and you can help the people around you that may not have the mindset, that may not have, like, you know why Jesus said the poor will always be among us? It wasn't because they couldn't change their life, it's because of their mental condition. If you ever get a chance to help a homeless person, ask them about their story. Some homeless people just give up. It's not that, some homeless people will straight tell you, it's not that I can't change my life, I just don't want to. They lost hope, right, Javon? And we have people around us that are functioning and lost hope. It's too hard for them to believe that they can do something outside of a 9 to 5. And here's the thing. I don't know about y'all, but there's no trust fund coming for Charles Dyson or Christina Dyson. There's nobody who set up some life insurance, and if they die, we're getting a check. It's not happening. There's no rescue that's going to take place for me and my family financially. If that's the same case for you, do you really have a choice? You got to do this. You got to change your life. And if not this, then what? Like, I always joke around, but where are we going? After this opportunity, after the ability to push a button and make money from a phone, what other opportunity are we going to that's easier than what we do right now? Just think about it. Where else are we going? You got to value what you have right in front of you every single day. And I know this was a pretty heavy topic, but what you got to do is take this information, and raise your level of gratefulness, raise your level of happiness that you even have this opportunity. Get excited about it and really take this thing, take a hold of it, own it. Own this opportunity. Own the mentorship that you receive every single day. Own the fact that you have the ability to help people around you change their life. Own it. And when you start operating from a position, understanding that not only do you have this opportunity, but it ain't no guarantee it's going to be here 3 years from now, 5, 10 years from now. We want this thing to last long enough for our children to get older and build this business. But there's no guarantee. I don't behave like I Am Mastery Academy is going to be here forever. How many months do you need at $50,000 a month to change your life? Right? How many months do you need at $100,000 a month to be set forever? Generational wealth. Like, do you realize what you have the ability to do on this platform? Take this thing and own it. And watch this. When you get to $10,000 a month, $25,000 a month, if it happens to last 40 years, freedom. There you go. Freedom. But the thing about opportunity, right? The thing about opportunity, it's not promised. Things can change. And you can't operate like you got forever. It has to become an emergency in your own personal life. I must get consistently profitable. I must go ahead and hit Platinum 1000, Platinum 2000, Platinum 5000, Chairman 10, Chairman 25, Chairman 50. I must help other people change their life. I must get in the position, step into my leadership capacity and be a light with the people that I help get started. I must do what's necessary. I must leverage this opportunity the way it was meant to be leveraged. I must. It's not an option. I have to do it. Right? So I just wanted to make you guys a little bit more sensitive to how good you have it. I wanted to make you a little bit more sensitive to the level of opportunity that you truly have. Right? So today is an opportunity to do a different level of work, different intensity level towards changing your financial situation. And you can start right now today and say, you know what? I'm going to go harder than I've ever went before. I'm going to be more consistent than I've ever done before. I'm going to give my all because I've never given my all. I'm not talking about just this opportunity. I'm talking about ever in life. Have you ever completely given your whole being to one thing? Just like literally gone all in. Have you ever given everything you got? And if the answer is no, today could be the first day. You can do more than you've ever done before. And guess what? On the other side of that activity, a result has to come. If you've ever played a sport and won a championship, you know the feeling of being the best at something. That's the feeling that you're in pursuit of. You're in pursuit of checking off those 5 reasons why that you wrote down. And once you get a taste of that, you start understanding anything I write, I can have. As long as I'm willing to go after it. Anything. Anything. Right? So I just want to leave you with some encouragement. I know it was heavy. I know this was a real heavy one. But I want to leave you with some encouragement to understand that you're in control. You're in control of your results. That's what the next Apex Belief Training is about. You are in control of your results. And if you take control of this opportunity, if you leverage it the way it's meant to be leveraged, you'll change your life forever, your children's life, your spouse's life, your mother and father's life. Everybody's life changes because you win a decision to go all in and really take advantage of the opportunity. That's my time. My man, Javon, I appreciate you, my brother. It's on you. Wait, do I got to make you host again?
There we go. What's going on, everybody? Hey, go ahead, drop some fire emojis in the chat. That was an amazing, really insightful call by Charles, MrKingdomKash, Dyson himself. And we definitely appreciate you and all that you do here inside not only the platform, but really just for the family here right now. Let me go ahead and pull. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, we definitely appreciate all that you do. And for everybody out there, look, really take this, right? Take what you got from this today. Just take one thing, right? Whatever your takeaway is. Everybody's at a different point in their life right now, a different point in their path. So identify where you are, what you need from what was just spoken, right? And then go out and use that. Like Charles said, start today, right? So start today. And the way that you can do that, we got some calls coming up today. Do we got 2 at 8 o'clock? That's this week? No, that's next week. Okay. So today, what you want to do is we do have Skittles, right? We do have a Skittles call coming up in about less than 30 minutes. So look out for that link being dropped. But go ahead, make sure you schedule that into your, right? And whatever strategy you're following on the platform, whatever